This is Canarsie, Rockaway Parkway. The next stop on this Brooklyn-bound podcast is Last Stop on the L.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Wow. Yo, Jamie, you can keep your dashiki on. Ain't nobody gonna tell you nothing, okay? You wear what you want, damn it.
I love everybody. I dislike people that use and abuse their power. No matter what color melanin or lack thereof that you have.
We need to do an intro. So welcome to part 2.
Welcome
episode
back.
8.
Welcome back.
To be honest with you, we stopped the podcast, but we didn't stop talking.
I have to listen to this and not straight through. Like, why are they just talking like this?
Rewind back to the first one.
If there's a joke you don't get, chances are we said it in between. Just add us a Twitter. We'll fill you in.
Keep rocking that dashiki, Jamie. Keep rocking that dashiki.
So, like, once again, Mike, I feel like he's just putting himself out there. Right. He's done some stuff. He's probably going to continue doing some stuff. Yeah. Because if you think about it logically, it makes no sense that you wouldn't have these meetings. Let's call them meetings. Yeah. With women. You know, not all women are attracted to you. Not all women are going to do anything. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Start it again.
All women.
Right?
No.
You know, and you know what?
Bad Mike Pence. No.
We are going to get tapped. Coming for us.
Right. That's all right.
You know, and it's
I'll
just,
go to Cuba.
You know, Cuba. So
Asadas on me.
This is like, yo, you know, you should be able to have meetings with anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This kind of reminds me of, like, you know, the homophobic views that we used to hear. Like, oh, I don't like gay people. That's, you know, because they're gay and they're going to do something. Like, they're going to convert people into you like that. You know,
right. You got a weird assumption that automatically because he's gay, he totally wants you.
Right. They're not going to chase after your booty because you're just a walking penis. No. You have to actually be cute or be their type.
You know, they have feelings. They
have, beings. They have, you know...
Standards. There you go.
High five.
I got 2 of those in one episode.
Don't get excited.
And what's interesting is that there's been people that have been writing defensive about him because somebody said, why would I need to have a meeting by myself with a woman? I'm thinking to myself,
business?
I work in nonprofit. That could describe a meeting with any one of my bosses who are all women, any one of my contacts who are all women, any one of the administrators I deal with on a regular basis who are all women. So,
and that's we're the other half of the population in the world.
Hey, but what about if you were to take it out of the business context? Mm-hmm. I mean, can we have actual dinner with friends?
Yes.
How dare you?
Politicians don't have friends. That's the crazy part.
You out here categorizing women as people. What's wrong with you?
Right. Politicians don't have friends. Everyone that they need to know, they need to know.
Mm. No, but I think that's a strange conversation too to have because again, I have a lot of friends from work. My field is almost entirely women. I would also have a lot of female friends as well. And I think that one of the things exactly what Mayhem said, that the first thing I heard when he said this statement isn't that, oh, women can't be trusted. Like, you're an alcoholic. That's number one. Because I don't know why you need your wife in the room to be in a room full of alcohol.
Right.
And you're making it seem like, oh, all these, like, if you're, for example, like, if you're at an after-work function or an office party, there's going to be alcohol. You mean to tell me you can't, like, not get drunk as a former governor in front of your entire staff? Like, that's your concern? What do you think is going to happen? Like, your
second... wasted. Woo! Shirts off! Everyone on the slip and slide.
I wouldn't mind one. I would not mind. Anyway, I want to interject.
That got awkward.
I think subconsciously, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a therapist, I'm not licensed or anything, but I think subconsciously he's also kind of putting women down too, because in a sense, for him to say, I don't, have dinner alone with women, kind of says like, you women are untrustworthy dogs.
Right.
No, you're not dogs. You guys are untrustworthy.
Right.
Yeah. And you're going to cause me to do something I don't want to do.
You're gonna compromise my integrity.
You're a whore.
Which is crazy because that's actually a stance that women have taken in the past.
Wait.
You're a hungry whore.
I'm sorry, Sister Mary. I don't want to meet you for church. You're a whore. I don't want to do my sacraments
Mike,
alone.
you're not going to dinner with so-and-so? No, because she's a whore.
It also makes me, like, very conscious of the fact that, like, how often have women in the workplace run into this roadblock where there's literally this old boys club mentality that's just designed to keep them, quote-unquote, safe from existential imaginary threats. Because as you said, again, not all women want to have, especially with... Okay, you know what? Let me not get into that. So, like, how do you then, as an office manager, like, say, hey, can we speak over lunch? I have something that I want to address with you. Oh, I don't meet with female staff by myself. I'm sorry, what?
That is what you call... That's what you call a class action human resources issue. That is sexual.
I would bet money.
Discrimination.
I would bet money right now that women have been told that before.
They haven't been told straight out because they would get their asses sued. What happens is what they do is they exclude them from those conversations.
Yeah.
There's the group text that all the dudes on the same floor are on.
Yeah.
There's the memo that gets sent via email. We're gonna go to the country club and go golfing this weekend. They bet on us not playing certain sports.
Yeah.
They bet on us not drinking hard liquor because they bond over that shit too. That's a whole thing I ran into in my industry, drinking whiskey. I hate drinking whiskey, but guess what? I had to learn how to drink it.
Because that's what some West Indian women.
I love whiskey.
I like bourbon. I learned to like bourbon. I can mess some bourbon up, but like these are
hard
like
cider, huh?
You mean apple juice?
After the whiskey.
Apple juice?
Judgment.
With a shot of whiskey.
Right.
There was some judgment on this side of the table. Family friend or not.
But there's definitely the, like you said, like the old, the boys club, and we get excluded out of it on purpose. They do things that just to exclude us because it's like, oh, you're a mom. Oh, you'll be busy raising children when you're off the clock. You'll get that, and this is the only reason why we were able to circumnavigate them. You getting good with their wife, because at the end of the day, if they're in a semi-functional relationship and in a married relationship, the wife has the ear of the husband. So you get buddy with the wife, and then you'll be able to come in that way, which might have a stronger bond. Again, also depends on a whole other person having a good relationship. But yeah, we get excluded. That's some bull. That's why we just have to raise up and have more women and stuff. And just have, like tea parties and, really super maternal femme shit.
Speaking of
wait, do you mean like literal tea parties or like tea party as in
I was
like...
being super facetious.
Okay. Because I was just kind of like, we're talking about feminism and we got into tea parties.
Something
like,
to throw
this feels like...
I'm glad you caught the sarcasm in that one because that went over your damn head.
I was raised in a British household. There's nothing wrong with tea time, okay?
Tea time, not tea party.
This is your boy, Mayhem Mike. We need to evacuate my brother, Danny Ocean. Send the chopper. He's not going to make it.
I was out here living my life, goddamn.
Okay, speaking of people living their lives and people need to be evacuated, what's up with Tommy Lauren getting fired?
Why are we even talking about this?
I'm done. You can continue on.
Yo, Shaba, the voice of reason.
I swear to you, I've never seen Black Twitter celebrate someone's unemployment as aggressively as when they heard. I'm like, y'all do know she's getting a better job after this, right?
Where?
Oh,
where?
No, she is.
She's conservatives are not gonna have it.
Oh, my friend, you don't understand the content, the views that she's driving. She's getting a Fox News position.
Don't count.
Her salary.
Hashtag Fox News don't count.
That is the most watched.
Shit don't count.
That's the
Fox
most
News
watched cable network in America. It's Fox News. So she's actually going to go to a bigger platform. So when she got fired, I'm just like, I understood the laugh because she got fired for being pro-choice, which is a great irony because she always says that, people are triggered by hurtful words. I'm like, your boss fired you because of something you said. That sounds like a triggering incident to me. That sounds triggering. I just throw that out there. But, man, she is a celebrity on Black Twitter. I feel like her biggest audience is black people hate watching her. Am I wrong?
I've never really sat and watched for longer than 5 minutes.
Oh, God, I can't.
Phone and it costs a lot of money. I can't afford to get a new one. So I'm like, let me just put it away.
I saw a Trevor Noah interview. And
that's the only thing I've seen.
And that's when I realized, I was like, wow, you don't actually know anything. You're aggressively stupid.
She's a talking head.
She's a label-less millennial who doesn't like to be labeled.
That
had me on the floor.
Wait. She always makes up a word. She's a constitutionalist?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you say that
She just said that. She said that she's a constitutionalist.
Yes, that's what.
But let me tell you, see, this is the double standard I be talking about. She can go on and have a platform and make up words, but as a hood chick, I can have a different colloquialism and jargon, and I'm hood. Get the hell out of here, lady.
Until it ends up in a white person's YouTube video, and then it's trendy.
Right. Hipster shit. Get the hell out of here. See, I can't.
Speaking of women you don't want to see, can we talk about Rachel Dolezal?
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
that's not her name.
What's her name?
Oh, what is it?
Oh, she changed it. Yeah.
Oh no, because she got a Yoruban situation.
Yeah. I love. First of all, she did a very because you said Vanna sent me a 30-minute video with it. I was like, I am not watching.
I didn't watch this shit either. I sent it to you for proof. Crazy, right there. There you go. And she was interviewed by who was that? Not the New York Times.
I think it was New York Times actually.
That's a damn shame.
So I watched a shorter interview that she did on Good Morning, whatever, one of those ABC morning shows, and she was like, I'm transracial, which again, I'm not going to fight you on because you can define yourself as you want to. But then she started...
We need the receipts, Heffa. Where's the receipts? Ancestry.com says not enough proof.
No, then she started saying that, like, here's where she gets in trouble, right? Because people are just like, because I had this conversation with a friend the other day, and people who are against trans people having rights use her as an example to like counter the argument. And I'm like, here's the difference between her and someone who's trans, right? You can transition from a man to a woman. You can transition from a woman to a man. Can I transition into whiteness?
No.
Because if I can't transition into whiteness, then
you can't transition to a black person. No.
Yeah, this isn't a thing. Like, and she was talking about, she was like, when she was 4, she used to put mud on her face when she felt black. I'm like, you were doing blackface at 4? I don't know if this is the story I want to tell people. Like, this is some cute story of a little girl discovering herself. Because if you had like a little 4-year-old white girl, like, look, mom, yeah, I'm black. Ooh, oh no. Stop that ASAP.
You know what happened? She read the book at 4 somehow. Or had the book read to the bluest eyes. You guys remember that?
Yo, that was one of the deepest books. Yo.
Okay. I
remember that book. Yes.
So at the end, the main character goes to a witch doctor, if I'm not mistaken, of the village, to give her the bluest eyes because she wants the bluest eyes, and she can't come to terms that as a black girl, she can't ever have blue eyes. At least in the lineage of her family and all this other stuff, and what it means. So she's been brainwashed, and Rachel needs to stop it. Rachel, I'm going to bring this up.
Girl.
In the previous episode that didn't make
do.
it, I'm sorry, Ocean. Ocean wanted to give Rachel a pass.
These
not to
are
the
alternative
cookout.
facts.
No, they're not.
Never happened.
So, not an actual pass to the cookout, but like you can be on the block.
She can get a plate, he said.
Yeah,
that's
what
he said. She
I never said that.
Yes, you did. You said she can get the good auntie potato salad and everything. You lie. You over there lying.
Listen, if I said that, to play the audio.
Don't we can put the shit in there. Wait a minute. You gotta be
that's right. There ain't no audio to play. That's how they say it. Thank you.
All right, Trump 2.0.
He's only saying that because he's bought an audio team. This won't get out of it. Constitutionalist is a word I'll use. It exists. So, like, Rachel, she needs to stop it. Rachel's also, like, just messed up in the head. I think, personally, she's messed up and she's dealing with a lot of identity issues. It's just like, we were all hoping she was a good person because she strived for a lot of good things.
She did a lot.
Right. Like, but ironically, suing your brother because he was supposedly touching your other sister, and your parents claiming that it didn't happen and it wasn't true, and then you doing blackface at 4. I'm sorry. At 4 years old, I just ran around. Okay, mine was play, eat, sleep. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't thinking about blackface.
No.
Or being black. I was black at that point. You know what I'm saying? Once I came out, I was black. But
oh, really? I didn't know that.
You know what? According to Rachel, you can actually change before you're actually 4. You
Get out of town.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
You know how they have skin bleaching cream?
Uh-huh.
They have darkening cream. You don't have to stay in the sun and worry about,
oh my God, is it called olive oil?
My favorite
is it hypoallergenic?
Oh my God, that's amazing.
And it's gluten-free.
Oh my God. Oh my God, yay!
Yeah,
the bullshit.
My favorite is in the descriptor of her book. At some point in her book, I didn't read the passage because I'm not going to read anything.
Right.
There's a descriptor of her book. They talked about how one of her issues with her husband was that she was quote unquote too black
too
for him.
Black.
I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Have mercy.
Listen, you know what blows my entire mind about this entire Rachel Dolezal case? Because I had this argument on Facebook, which is again not a thing to brag about.
Are Facebook arguments ever anything to brag about? Okay,
but there was a group of people of European ancestry that were trying to explain to me why her being transracial wasn't an issue, even though I kept going, I don't care how she self-identifies, but if you're going to say that her identifying as transracial isn't an issue, then explain to me how I transitioned into whiteness. And no one kept giving me answers. Kind of be like, no, you can be black. I'm like, cool. How do I be white? Someone, let me know.
Exactly.
Like, what are the rules? What are the procedures to get into this category? I want my credit score to go up just because of my skin pigment.
Oh, like, I'm not gonna tell you that secret, sir. Not on Facebook.
Right. You weren't invited to that party, honey.
I'm trying to get a 750.
And I think that's kind of the issue that she's having too, because in her mind, even though she went to an HBCU, even though she was part of the NAACP chapter, my thing is like she could have everything that she accomplished in the pursuit of blackness in her life, she could have done as a white woman, and there would have been no resistance.
Nope.
Right.
That's the strangest part about this entire story. Everything that she has done to this point, if she just did it as a white person who had an affinity for black, there would have been no resistance. You know what she would have been? She would have been Paul Wall. Should have been Paul Wall walking to the hood. Ain't nobody even like batting an eye. If you don't know Paul, you know Paul Wall. Remember the rapper Paul Wall?
He made grills.
Listen,
he made grills, and we're still using it to this day.
Paul Wall, white is black.
He really went there with
there's no one is out here saying Paul Wall is black, right?
Paul Wall in the fucking trap. That's why.
But no one. My thing is, no one is declaring
like
Paul
Eminem?
Wall.
Oh, Eminem's...
But he was both as example. No one is declaring Paul Wall or Eminem black.
Right.
And they're not trying to be black. But they're so in the culture, like, no one backs an eye when they do certain things.
No.
Right? And I'm saying, like, she could have gotten that status, but I'm like, I don't understand what her obsession is.
Elizabeth Warren is on my... Yo, Elizabeth Warren can walk to Harlem right now and not get touched.
Okay, now you are now. Elizabeth Warren is a white woman. That's a very Caucasian woman.
She's a very woke-ass Caucasian woman.
That
gives you you can be Willie Light mayo sandwich eating ass. You can be all
she
that.
She gets a plate.
First of all,
she gets a plate and a ticket.
You get a whole damn tender food from me if you the way she be going hard. I'm okay with that.
She's cool. Okay, she's cool. Listen, I'm a big fan of her, but I'm like, this is like, okay, we're out here giving out passes too freely here.
You gave Rachel a pass.
I did not give her a pass.
We need a patch. No, we need to patch in that.
Play the audio.
Clip. We gotta patch that clip.
Play the audio
because he's really going hard.
The group chat needs to
play the audio.
You know what?
Because they're talking about words that were never said.
I'm going to say it here. You can apply for a black card through the group chat, but you'll only get it at the black cookout. That's what I'm saying.
I like that. I'm okay with that. I'm cool with that.
I'm gonna transition things, Vip. Transition King. Blah, 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 blah. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna talk about the girl from Atlanta in the new Deadpool movie. Black nerd check-in. Let's do it. Woo!
I don't know what she looks like.
It's a nerd.
It's a nerd.
So we have to do it. Okay, yeah. There's a lot of cool things happening in terms of like if you're a black nerd. Yeah. Number one, there is another black superhero TV show coming. It's called Black Lightning. I know nothing about this character.
That sounds like DC. Is that a DC? Mm-hmm. Of course it is. I know nothing about DC. Marvel. Hello.
It's coming to CW. Mm-hmm. They released a still image of it this week.
Who watches CW anymore?
I do.
That's bad.
Nerd.
Yeah.
That was
The Flash. The Flash is a good show, and I will not apologize for being a fan. Anyway, he's coming to the CW. The costume got released this week. The goggles. I'm sorry. He just kind of remember back in the day when people used to wear ski goggles, but weren't going to the slopes.
Yeah,
that's kind of like how they look like.
Oh no, but it's on his face. It's not on his head, so it's not the cool part.
It's just like, are you fighting crime or skiing, bro? You need to pick. Like, I can't.
I think they drew inspiration from X-Men from Quicksilver, because Quicksilver had goggles, and he wasn't even in the regular uniform that he's normally in. Everybody loved him. But go ahead.
Yeah. Also, one of the cast members of Atlanta got casted in the new Deadpool movie. Mm-hmm. I can't wait. Have you seen the teaser trailer for Deadpool?
Yes.
That has literally nothing to do with the movie?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
He's so absurd. By the way, on a side note, if you have not read Ryan Reynolds' personal Twitter, you need to read. It's one of the funniest Twitters online. My favorite one is, he says, every morning I wake up and look into my daughter's eyes and say, I can't do this. Oh man, it's yeah. Did you want to add anything?
No, actually, you hit it all spot. I don't know anything about Black Lightning either. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does, what they do with this character. Will it be as kind of like a Luke Cage in a sense, where they hit on certain issues? I mean, it's CW, so we can't really expect too much.
Yeah.
But will it have hard facts? Will it with homage and all this other stuff?
Can I talk on 2 nerdy issues?
On the new Iron Fist and how whack it is?
Oh my God. I want to talk about that, but can I take a moment to rant a second?
Oh, okay.
I may have ranted on this last episode. Okay, so Ghost in the Shell is one of the most influential animes ever made. You're like, what's Ghost in the Shell? Never heard of it? That's fine. You've literally seen scenes from that anime in some of your favorite movies, like shot for shot, including The Matrix, has taken scenes out of that.
Yep.
So recently, Scarlett Johansson she starred in the live-action version of Ghost in the Shell. It was met with some resistance from the Asian American community. And you're like, why is that? Well, I don't know if you noticed, Mayhem, Vanna, Juicy. The main characters from Ghost in the Shell all exist in Tokyo. They're all of Japanese descent. So it's interesting that Scarlett Johansson is playing a Japanese police officer in Japan with her Japanese police squad. And the only person that's actually Asian in the movie is like the one guy who's head of the team. But in the actual TV show, there was a white American.
Yes.
But why couldn't it why?
Okay.
Why?
The caucasity.
I have a question because I have felt very frustrated when that movie, The Great Wall, came out.
I didn't bother.
And
trash.
I watched it online with my boyfriend. I was like, I don't want to watch this. Right appropriation. And he was like, I'm watching it because it looks cool. I'm like, fine. And then it's so funny because apparently the producers picked Matt Damon because they thought it would appeal more to Americans if there was a big lead actor that was from America. That's why they did that. So in my head, I'm like, okay, so do either everyone that's in Asia is either really old white men and they're like doing this on purpose, or they're really old Japanese, Chinese, Korean, Taiwanese old white men. Why do people say white men? I'm having a day today. Anyway, old men making these decisions, and it's like it will sell more.
Yeah.
To have a Caucasian lead, and I'm like, but then when they come over here, all the freaking Asian people are tight.
No, you see, the interesting thing with the Great Wall is that that movie was actually financed 50% by the Chinese government.
Right.
So they thought that.
What?
Yeah, 50%.
I said right, and I heard Chinese. I'm like, Chinese, yeah. Wait, government, bro.
Yeah, the Chinese. So
propaganda.
There is no such thing as a private company in China.
Right.
So if you're a corporation, you're government owned. You are. Yeah. So when you hear a Chinese company invested in you, just think on the back of that, the Chinese government is invested in you. Right. So the Chinese movie studio invested in the movie because it was their first ever attempt at like a Hollywood-style blockbuster, and they wanted it to have broad appeal, so they casted Matt Damon with the assumption that American audiences wouldn't want to see an all-Asian cast in the movie.
Do they not remember how successful Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was? That shit was the bomb!
No, they don't remember it because it wasn't as successful over there as it was here.
Right.
So what's happening is a lot of those big-budget movies that like bomb in the United States are actually doing really well in China. So they're like, Americans...
So they have shitty taste. That's what's happening.
No.
Because that's what that sounded like you just said. They have
no.
shitty taste.
I think the issue is that... okay, so when you do a movie, there's certain things that don't translate well across cultures. Humor does not translate as easily as stuff blowing up and you having a saving the world moment. That's as simple as that.
Okay.
So those movies translate because it's a spectacle.
Yeah.
If you're going to go see the movie, you want to see like something ridiculous. But if you're an American audience, you see this all the time. Right? Versus they're not as common unless they're American movies.
I guess. Because I was going to make the case for Memoirs of a Geisha, which I love, but that was written by a white man.
But then to kind of...
Again, bigger in the West than it was in Asia.
Yeah. So like...
I love that movie. That movie was amazing.
So Iron Fist is another example where people are like, well, that was whitewashing. But no, the original character was actually a white guy. Yeah. But it was weird that this entire show was about Asian mysticism and Asian culture and everybody involved is white. But whatever. And I think what sunk Iron Fist even before it being a bad show, which is, let's get to that key point. It's a really bad show.
Hard.
Really?
Like, you know how I can tell it's a bad show?
No one talked about it.
No. Oh, well, no. Actually, no, you're right.
They talked about it badly.
Right.
When you go to your Netflix queue and something new comes out, it's like the first thing you see. This is the first Marvel show where I had to scroll. Like, it came out that Friday, and Netflix didn't be like, hey, I'm like, I don't really, it's
right, this shit's out.
By the way, guys, if you scroll to the left,
this new Dave Chappelle stand-up, though.
Right after you watch all these Netflix originals, there's also this other.
But what happened with Iron Fist was that when they got criticized, the director and the star of the show gave one of the most tone-deaf responses I've ever heard. The star of the show said he thinks that the show failed because Donald Trump has made it hard to be a rich white man.
If you don't
or empathetic rich white man, you can't empathize with it. I'm just like, where? Where? And then the director was talking about how basically he made an argument like everything doesn't have to be diverse, like it's not that big of a deal. I'm like,
I'm sorry, where do you live?
What? Like,
that's the most privileged statement ever made.
But see, I'm not even mad about it being diverse. It was trash. The shit was horrible. It could have been a whole bunch of, random white dudes talking about Chinese folklore. I'm okay with that. If the shit was good, it wasn't good. It was horrible.
You know what I feel bad for? Netflix. Because,
they're making their money.
No. They made their money.
It's their first bomb from
Right. It's the first bomb. And, it
wasn't their fault.
I want you to... Okay, so I'll put it in layman's terms. Your first defeat is your most...
memorable?
Yes. For you, because it shapes who you are and what you do afterwards. Right. Netflix has had a series of hits. Yeah. Luke Cage,
Jessica Jones.
Yeah, there you go. See, look at that.
Get Down was good.
Even Jessica Jones.
No, the one with Jesus Christ,
Daredevil.
I mean,
coming out with the Punisher.
I'm actually thinking of the one that's coming out in October for Halloween. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Stranger Things.
Stranger
Things is
right. So so I said that because to show the broad, the vast,
their range,
what they do.
Their range.
So Iron Fist to me had a weaker premise and story than Luke Cage. In fact, they're both kind of like at one point they were both heroes that were put together. The
Defenders. That's what's coming next year.
That's what's coming up. Yeah.
Hopefully. After Iron Fist,
right?
They don't have a choice unless they recast him and be like, "Yo, shut your whining ass down, hold it down." That's what they might do to him.
So they can use that to touch upon a lot of great topics that we can relate to and whatnot. If you ask me, Jessica Jones was better than Luke Cage, and Cage was better than Iron Fist. Mm-hmm. But the reason why I even brought all that up is only because you look at something like Avatar. By M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh my God, they whitewashed the hell out that movie.
Right. And they don't necessarily take, which always baffles my mind. The comics literally wrote the story for you.
All you have to do is adapt it to the screen.
Copy and paste. You can change certain things to make it more relatable, but
don't try to reinvent the wheel. Sit down.
Add my own art to this.
Yeah, right.
And you look at something like the Avatar, and it's mostly it's an Asian world, pretty much.
That was done on purpose because it was done by Asian American creators who didn't see themselves on TV, so they created a show to see themselves.
Right. So give them their props, and over here it's just as popular, if not more, than what out west.
Right.
And all he had to do was adapt it. And then you know what? He screwed it so much that people won't forget that girl. Saying the names incorrectly, the horrible fight scenes, and all this other stuff. So it's okay, Netflix, just like how we remember M. Night Shyamalan for all his past failures, including the first one after The Sixth Sense.
I like M. Night Shyamalan, though.
You are alone with this one.
I know.
M. Night Shyamalan. But, just like how we remember him, how are you gonna bounce back from this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With an original. I mean, Stranger Things is good. So long as Stranger Things is great.
Crazy.
That's gonna blow the things out of the water. But this is Iron Fist. You know what I'm saying? From Marvel. Go ahead.
So before we move on from this topic, I want to give the director his due because I didn't want to misquote him. He went, and I'm quoting now, cultural appropriation, my God, it's just an adventure story. Don't these people have something better to do than worry about the fact that Iron Fist isn't Oriental or whatever the word? I know Oriental isn't the right word either.
Wow. Oh, wow. So that's a dub for him. Let's talk about a producer who does have a chance in America. Just how about that? Mr. Pio for Get Out. Everybody seen the movie Get Out?
I still haven't. I haven't seen it. I'm the lame.
What are you
doing? Working too damn much. It's okay. I'm trying. I'm
trying
to watch it illegally.
Let me see your black card. Okay.
Girl, bye. You gonna pay me? You gonna pay my damn ticket to go see it?
Yes.
You might.
The hood release. Hood release.
No, I want to give him his money.
You can do that later. It's the point that you see it first. We got this. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen the movie Get Out, definitely stop what you're doing. No, finish this podcast, then go see it.
Watch it.
Okay? Like and subscribe. So, it's a great movie, of course. It's great, topic worthy and whatnot. If you can't see it for whatever reason, I'm encouraging you to see it with a friend through hood release, if possible. If anybody asks you, we didn't have this conversation in court. You know what I'm saying? So, but definitely you got to see it because it touches upon so many topics. Now that you can see, I don't really want to talk about it.
No, you can't. I, it's my fault, but you can because I'm almost certain I can react on anything.
You have to watch it.
Oh my
God! No. I'll tell you how serious it is, right? So I knew it was going to be a great movie. I really wasn't in a rush to see it. I was like, whatever, right? I saw it and I was mad at myself that I didn't see it sooner. All right, I'm so, and it's produced a whole bunch of.
Feel away.
It's produced a whole bunch of air quotes memes. It's memes from it, memes from it.
And
like,
it don't make sense till you see it.
Right?
Yeah, no, it does have no context.
Yo,
I've seen all the memes, and I'm like, oh,
I'm gonna call them memes.
These are memes.
Can I handle a transition? Can I take a transition for a second?
Yeah,
can you
transition
kick it?
king will
Yes,
allow
you
it.
can.
Yeah.
So we're going to transition into my favorite conversation, black sitcoms. And the reason we're going to talk about that is because this week, Alfonso Ribeiro, a.k.a. Carlton Banks, released a picture of the cast of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air hanging out. Boy. And everyone was like, oh, wait, where's the original Aunt Viv? And I'm just like, she don't mess with none of you.
That lady was in Harlem sitting sour in her house.
Yo,
bitter as what?
Yo, she came through with the...
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
She came through like Big Sean on that. Bruh.
I was so mad. It was so bad.
And then I realized in a moment, like, it's interesting how TV sometimes unknowingly impacts your life. Because I was having this conversation yesterday, and when I was a kid, I always wanted to go to an Ivy League school. When I was really young, and I'm just like, that is strange. Because I remember as I said it out loud, I'm like, that's weird. Why did I want to go to an Ivy League school? It's not that I had context. Like, my parents aren't from this country, right? I was going to school in inner city New York, Ivy League. No one was like telling me to go to like Harvard or Yale's. And I was just like, oh crap. Carlton, Will, and Uncle Phil always talked about going to Princeton. So that's how I even became aware of what the Ivy League was. And I was like, yo, that's how possible.
So you wanted to be Carlton growing up?
No. Don't come at me like that. Okay. Don't be
unusual to be loved by anyone.
He's getting double man down.
You want to every episode. That's it. That is the whole meat right there.
Man down, ladies and gentlemen.
You're going to make me move this mic.
We started singing at the same exact time. Black Girl Magic, guys. That's what that was.
When they come for the check for that little ditty that you did, I'm going to refer them to you, too. I didn't sing that song.
The hate in the blood is thick in this one, Yoda. The hate in the blood.
This might be a classic.
My question to you is, what is your favorite black sitcom growing up, and why? Because I love the Fresh Prince because I wasn't any of those characters. In my mind, I wanted to be Will. People saw me as Carlton. Don't you chuckle. Don't you chuckle. But in real life, I was really jazzed because I just didn't give a about anything that was happening. I just kind of came out. I was just kind of like, you know. So, what was your favorite black sitcom and why? Like, why did it like resonate with you, even though we're all kids watching these adults throughout their lives?
I know my parents love me. Stand behind me, come what may.
You're sued for sample clearances.
Well, let me tell you how a different world shaped my adult life. at 5 years old.
5.
I was.
Listen, you can be blackface at 4.
Hashtag don't judge me. Don't judge me.
I see where she's going.
I was a kid that grew up with Cosby Show. Cosby Show transitioned to a different world. I had 2 aunts that went to rivaling. Why can't I say that? Rivaling. Okay.
Just rival.
Just let it go. Let it go.
Just literally just
The bubble tea's fault.
Hey.
I had 2 aunts that went to HBCUs that were rivals. So I wanted to go to a HBCU. Heavy. Different World, definitely, like, it was my favorite show. I love Different World. I still watch it. When I need a laugh and I need a, yes, black people do this. Yes, I need it. When I need a little quick pick me up and a twang, I watch it. It's my shit.
That's the original Bad and Bougie.
Yes. Whitley Gilbert. Yes. Whitley.
That's the bougiest black woman I've ever seen on television.
Her mama.
Oh yeah, her mama.
You're right. I take
Diane Carroll.
That's the second bougiest black woman.
You have to understand the freaking awesomeness of Diane Carroll, which is one of my favorite black actresses ever. You have to watch her on, is it Dynasty? She played a very rich, successful black woman and tore one of the protagonists 2 pieces.
Were they always slapping each other? No.
Well, did they occasionally? I think they did, but no, they did. They were real classy. They had they had too much makeup and the
shoulder pads.
They couldn't get busy like that. They didn't have that.
They had that range.
Right, they didn't have that range. That little
Millie Rocket.
Right. They Millie Rockin' they shit will fall off if they do it the wrong way. But yeah, Diane Carroll was Whitley's mother, and that, like, I love. Okay. I pretty much follow that.
J-Dot.
It's I. Cosby Show. So I'm significantly younger than you guys. So when you said 5, I was I was definitely younger than that. But Cosby Show, because the kids in Cosby Show, like, we had the same clothing because I was a 90s baby, and so Cosby Show, I was like, oh, I could wear that. Mom, hey, get to sewing. And then I think there was one episode where then Raven Simone, when she was still invited to the cookout, actually have the same outfit that she wore in one of the episodes.
Yo, I know you was hype.
That head tilt? That helped it?
I'm still hype.
Girl, you didn't do a side-by-side picture like, Mom, roll up the camera. Roll it up.
Of course not. My family wasn't on the camera.
You came to school the next day.
Wasted my time.
Y'all saw the episode, right?
Y'all saw all the episode. What's up? We out here.
Ignoring that shade, though. Mine was Martin Lawrence. Martin. That's right. Sing it. To this day, I go back and forth with Ocean. That's the better of the show because I believe they showed around the same time on different networks. Martin premiered, I think, on UPN at one point before it moved to 11.
No, it was on
Fox.
It was Fox?
It was Fox.
Then wasn't it Fox? Okay, Fox, UPN.
See, that's how you know you
See,
black.
how
Because
you
you just
know
assumed
it.
they was on UPN.
You're right. See? Shout out to UPN.
Martin came on Thursdays at 8:30 after Living Single, and then it was New York Undercover.
New York Undercover.
All right.
Those cops are too real.
Woo. So, my bedtime was 8:30.
Right. He was tight.
Right. No. When there's a will, there's a way. The TV faced my room. It was the TV, the kitchen, my room.
Whoa.
They used to close the door on me. I'd crack it open, and Martin is so funny. He used to get me in trouble. You ask any of my parents or sisters, I'd be laughing. What are you doing? Go back to sleep. It's hard. Jerome, look at the white shoes. Chilligan's Island. Yo, there's so many classic. It is so bad. I dated this girl maybe about 3 years ago, and we could not watch the episode because I knew it by heart.
Oh, I do that too.
By heart, I was filling in that. And you know when it comes to you like that,
yeah,
I'm like, wow, I put Friends to shame. Because like Martin had it. I love Martin. He's always been funny. Tommy not having a job. Pam and Martin, Shanae. Oh my gosh, Shanae.
Tommy did have a job.
Right.
He was a youth counselor.
Yes. I remember when
I was just saying at the time. I didn't know that.
Rest in peace, Tommy. Rest in peace.
Oh,
Rest in peace.
You're right. Damn.
What I loved about this show, and I think it made it important, obviously he had help, but like he created all these characters that are very significant to us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Martin himself, you got Jerome, you got Otis the cop. I'm not going to include the master, but I will. Roscoe, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, so even Shanae was let me tell you, Shanae's greatest moment for me was when she had Gina work for the Piston tickets.
At the nail salon.
And this is how I know I'm a geek for it. They aired the original take. So like Martin is doing it and his wig
fell off.
But if you go on the DVD, they didn't show which fell off. I was like, that's not what happened. Show the wig fall off. You gotta get to work, girl.
Oh my god!
But it was so inspirational. I used to pump it. I loved it. I was funny. And in some ways, I wanted to be Martin.
Mm-hmm.
My dad definitely introduced me to black actors. Denzel Washington, Devil in a Blue Dress. Mm-hmm. He was like, you need to know this, all this other stuff. But I wanted to be Martin at that time, for sure.
Aww.
So here's my question, because there's a dearth of TV shows that are happening now. Mm-hmm. And if you were to make a prediction, in 20 years, someone, another generation is doing this podcast and having a similar conversation. What's that show? What would be your bet for that show for them? Because their bet would be Blackish, because it has broad cultural appeal, but my bet would be Atlanta. Because Atlanta's some real
shit.
There's nothing you can compare that show to.
Nothing.
If you've never seen that show, all I have to say is Black Justin Bieber. That alone, like, that was glorious.
The invisible car.
I'm a 35-year-old white man.
Oh my god.
What show would your guest be out from years, like a couple years from now, like, yo, that was the show?
I'm having a really hard time finding a show besides the one that you just named that has an all-black cast.
What are you talking about?
Between Blackish and she's talking about Blackish in Atlanta.
But you don't have to be an all-black cast. It could just be a show.
You specifically said...
Hold on, time out. Let's back up. I said black sitcoms, right? A Different World, first season, Marissa Tomei was on the cast. Don't come at me. That was an all black cast. I said,
and they got rid of her ass after the second season.
No, she got to Hollywood to get her Oscar. So
she got it herself.
I'm out. These checks is hitting. I'm out.
I'm gonna interject really fast. Because I want to hear what you have to say. So, like, I'm going to say Atlanta, definitely, because right now it's kind of going the same route the Chappelle Show did for us. Because the black-white supremacist, for crying out loud. That particular skit was just...
White power!
You know what I'm saying? Like, that was just... It was funny, but it was just like, wow. And Atlanta's... I really tried to finish my sentence without saying so. I'm like...
I'm sorry. That's my favorite part of this shit. I'm sorry.
Why'd you leave your wife? Because...
she's a nigga. Fucking slave. Fucking savage, Chappelle. I love you. I freaking love you. Your nicotine addicted ass. I love you. I'm having a hard time thinking of another show. Because right now, in black culture, we don't have a plethora of shows anymore. That show... Okay, give me an example, because I don't watch a lot of TV.
Mary Jane,
Scandal.
No.
Whoa.
No. You said Impact. Being Mary Jane, not that. It started off good.
Scandal.
No.
To Get Away with Murder.
Scandal reminds me of 24.
Real Husbands of Hollywood.
No. Impact. We're talking about Impact.
Why wouldn't Howard? How many shows do y'all need? Goddamn.
No.
You said Impact.
Okay,
Impact.
so
Impact. Content worthy.
Right. The impact that we had in the 90s helped shape us.
Power's not gonna help me shape anything.
I don't want to.
You're turning in a drag ring now.
I'm not trying to slang dope. I'm too soft for jail. I ain't trying to do that shit. I'm not that down ass bitch that you want. I'll back your ass out real fucking quick.
What do you mean? Ja Rule here.
Right.
What do you mean about my baby?
What do you mean you don't have soap on it?
You have to go to jail without your baby. Bye.
I ain't that one.
You know what?
I ain't it. Nope.
So in the Aston Martin video, when that girl goes steal for Rick Ross, when she getting arrested, like, nah, he across the street.
I would slash his tires and call the cops.
Right there, the silk shirt. Don't be arrested.
Right, just too much.
22 questions. Are you gonna question with me, girl? Yo,
I'm not that forgiving Black Diva. Make sure you follow and subscribe us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
It's your boy Danny Ocean, the Two-Hit Villain, DANNYOCION. Find me on Twitter. Find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Spreaker. Even though I know you don't use that.